This is Jennifer at Beyond 20, and today we're going to talk about auditing field changes on a business object and how you can store those changes in a different tab. So first I'm going to show you the incident object, and you may be familiar with the Journals tab. And that Journals tab is going to display all types of journals here. So you're going to see journal history records, which are created when fields are changed. You'll see journal notes, which are manually created within the record itself, and mail history. So one tab to display all journal records, which, as you might be aware, can get a little bit cluttered when you're trying to view what has gone on with a ticket. So let me show you what this looks like in a CI. And here you're going to notice we have multiple tabs for journals. So one is called Baseline Changes, and that displays only journal history records. And then we have Journals, which you'll see does not display journal history records. So let's go into the Orange client and see how this is set up. So I'm going to open a new blueprint, and let's take a look at the Config Other CI and go to the tabs or the arrangement area. And we're going to take a look at baseline changes first. So we'll go into the properties, and here you'll see that it's been named baseline changes. They've chosen an image, but let's look at the contents. So the relationship being used here is configuration item group links journals. Let's go to the filters, and you'll see that we have a filter in play that says journal type name is equal to journal history. If we cancel out of that, let's take a look at journals and look at those properties. In the tab contents, you'll see it's using the exact same relationship, configuration item group links journals. So you can have multiple tabs for the same relationship. And then under the filter, we have a filter here that says journal type name is not equal to journal history. So that's why we have one tab to display journal history and one tab that displays everything but journal history, which can be very useful when you're trying to get a quick look at what's changed on a record versus what are some notes that technicians have manually added to the record. So if you want to track changes on a field, you have a couple of different ways to go about that. So if we go into Edit Business Object and take a look at some fields here, if we just look at Owned by Team, you could just individually on a field, if you only wanted to track a few fields, maybe when status changes, if owned by changes, you can come in and on each field itself you can choose to track changes to that field. Or, as you'll see here, it's not being tracked, but the system is currently creating a journal history record for it. And that's because if we go into Business Object Properties and go to the History tab, you can also say track field changes for all fields, and you can choose to combine those changes or do one record per change. So if I'm on the record and I change the owned by team, modify a few other fields, I can choose whether I want those changes to be tracked in one single record or one record for every single field separately. And that's really your call on how you prefer to view that information. But that's just a simple overview of tracking changes to fields and how to view those changes in a separate tab to reduce the clutter of your overall journals. And that's it for today.